Hey everybody, it's Professor Parish. I hope you guys have been having a great week so far. And so, apologies for this video being a day late. I'm going to talk today about what we're doing for week 4. If you can believe we are 25% done with the class at this point almost. Crazy, right? So this week's video is going to talk a little bit about the things that are going to be due this week and to come, because we are going to be going into new territory this week with a new type of assignment, and I want to go over that with you all. So without further ado, I'm going to shrink myself down. There I am. And on the page here, we are going to go to assignments. I'm going to switch over to student view. All right. So week 4, what we have to expect. As always, our discussion forum is due on Friday, your initial post, and at least 2 peer responses are due by Sunday. The grammar review number 2 is featured right here. It's due Sunday as well. I've had a couple of students talk to me and say that they've been having trouble opening the grammar review. So if you are having trouble opening it, there are a couple of options that you have. One, if I open it right here, I go to the grammar review, make sure that you have Microsoft Word downloaded to your computer or device before you open this file. Of course, as I say that, mine's not fully uploaded, so it's going to do this lovely thing. So it should look like this. It will go over pages 427 to 430 in our English skills textbook and 430 to 431. So there are 5 sentences here for activity 1 that you will create a complete sentence. So our theme this week is run-ons. So you'll be given a fragment of a sentence and you will need to make that fragment a complete sentence for numbers 1 through number 5. So pretty easy. You get to be a little creative, make up your own answers, as long as it fits and makes sense. Activity number 4, we're going to kind of skip around with this grammar review number 2. Activity 4 is on page 434, and that is where you're basically doing the same thing. You're rewriting sentences 1 through 5. You are taking fragments and putting them together to make a complete sentence by adding commas, adding conjunctions like and, but, or to the sentence. You're basically taking 2 parts and making it a complete whole. So a little bit different than this first activity, but you still get to have a little fun putting these sentences together. And then activity number 5 is on page 436. You will choose the fragment part of each sentence in the book and rewrite using the fragments. And they'll give you directions in parentheses, like they'll ask you to write a certain kind of sentence or use a certain fragment at the beginning or end of the sentence. So they'll give you directions for this last assignment. But please make sure you do assignments activity 1, 4, and 5 here. Each one are worth 5 points. The activity assignment as a whole is worth 15 points. And when you're done, you can save it and upload your file here like you did with grammar review number 1. If for some reason you cannot upload this file, my recommendation would be that you are always welcome to write out your answers. You can open up your own Word document and type out the answers themselves on a separate document. If you cannot get Word to work, you can always handwrite your answers, and you can either scan and email them to me, or you can take a picture of your answers on your phone and then text my email the answers. So instead of typing in a phone number, you would type in my email address. And you can also do that too if you need to send me a text. If your internet goes out, something happens, you have an emergency, you can always do that and not have to worry about accessing your email. So that is the grammar assignment number 2, due Sunday. And then the last thing is this new assignment, the writing prep cause and effects drop box. So the week 4 video is the video you're watching right now, and it's going to be up tonight. Chapter 7 and 10 in our English skills textbook is the assigned readings for this week, and they will kind of relate to cause and effect. So the chapter we're reading in the book this week is all about cause and effect, which I will touch base on very shortly. I've laid my book over there, so I'll have to go get it in a second. But I'm going to go here to the writing prep cause and effect drop box. All right. So as I'm opening this assignment up, I'm going to walk over here and grab my textbook. Our chapter that we need to look at is going to be, let me pull it up here. Chapter 10, which starts on page 212, talks about cause and effect. So we do have some writing preps in this class. It's to prepare you for English 121 and 122. So we do, they are not as long as the preps you will have in 121 and 122. They're pretty basic. But what you're going to do for this assignment is to read the guidelines below. So we're going to do that first. So chapter 10, we focus on cause and effect, and we're going to talk about that chapter here shortly. And of course, it tells you to watch this video. What we do for our writing assignments is that you will have an introduction paragraph where you talk about the purpose of your assignment, introduce your topic and points. Then you will have some body paragraphs that discuss and analyze your topic, and a conclusion paragraph. So the assignment itself is 3 pages. 3 full pages is the assignment length. Which, depending on your topic, I don't think is going to be, it seems like it might be a lot, but once you get started writing, I think you'll find that it's not too bad. The points for this assignment are as follows. Your introduction, conclusion, your body paragraphs, grammar, and length and formatting. Your writing prep, which we're going to talk about here shortly, is asking you to create an outline. So it's going to be very, very basic, like what's your intro topic, what's the thesis or the point of your paper, what points are you going to touch base on, and you'll list them out here. If you have any subpoints, you'll put them on there, and then you can talk a little bit about your conclusion. So cause and effects papers, I'm looking in your textbook at page 212 to 213. The idea is that you are taking a cause, something that happens, and then you talk about what is the impact or effect of that. So one topic that you could possibly choose, which I'm pretty strongly opinionated about, is consolidating schools. A lot of high schools in our area have been consolidated over the years. Massac County, Hardin County, Pope County, Gallatin County, those are all county schools, whereas you used to have every town had a school, and now they're all consolidated. I myself grew up and went to Glacier, which was not a consolidated school. So I have my own opinions about whether or not counties should consolidate and the pros and cons of that, and that's sort of what this paper is about. So if I chose to write a cause and effect paper, I would choose to write it about consolidation. So for example, when I go here for my writing prep, which is your assignment this week, I could start out, and you can copy and paste this into your own writing prep. You can just take this and right click, do copy, and you can start your own document and paste and then add on and change this. So you at least have a format to work with. I would say that I'd write something like this. Oh, it won't let me write in here. Okay. I'm going to copy and give me just a minute and I'll open up a document. All right, I'm back. I'm on a Google Doc. So copy and pasted into my document here. So I could put as my introduction, growing up in a small town and small school, I was lucky to have, and you can make this personal in a way, something that relates to yourself. I kind of like having topics and writing about things that I can relate to. It makes it easier. And I can remember back when I was in school and we always heard about Saline County possibly consolidating, and there were a lot of opinions about that. So you'll notice I started out like talking with a topic sentence of just, this topic sentence doesn't necessarily have anything to do with consolidating schools, but it's a setup. It's talking about my own experience, and it kind of hints at what my opinion is going to be about the topic. And then I write this sentence to kind of ease my way into that idea of consolidation. And then what I would do is I would kind of, and I'm going to give you like just this little work in progress thing here where I would state my opinion and then tie into the thesis. So that's like a little, this thing in the brackets is just a note to myself of what to do next. So my thesis for my cause and effect paper would be consolidating schools has more. And this is just my opinion. I know a lot of you probably have different opinions, and that's fine. But for the sake of my paper, that would be my thesis. Consolidating schools has more negative impacts than positive. That's my thesis. That is the topic of my paper. And the points that I would talk about would be class sizes, instructors in the district, and funding. And I could probably add another point in here. Add another point. Make that point. Yeah, you can have more than 3 points. Location of school. And then obviously I need to change my Roman numeral there. So yeah, if you wanted to add a subpoint like on funding, I would put bus routes as a subpoint. So you talk about the bus routes for a consolidated school, and you can add subpoints to all of this. But ideally, in a conclusion work in progress, I might make myself a note like tie back to my own experience at the end. So your writing prep, what it should do is it should give me a small introduction, or at least like a work in progress of what you're thinking about for this paper, a thesis, which is your whole point, what the items you're going to talk about are, and if you've got any little subplots to talk about as well, and then you can put your conclusion just being a work in progress. So it should be very small and simple like this, but I want to know, what do you want to write about for this cause and effect paper? So in our textbook on page 213 and 212, the idea of a cause and effect is discussed. And I definitely want you to read this chapter because they go into a lot more detail about cause and effect. So you could do a lot of different things. So cause and effect, the whole point is the paper focuses on the steps or actions taken and the effects of those actions. So some possible topics. Like I said, I don't want to put you all in a corner and make you choose what kind of cause and effect paper you write about, but if you've never wrote a cause and effect before, I want to give you some ideas of just things that could work for this paper. But you can choose whatever cause and effect topic you want as long as it kind of fits the theme, which is cause and effect. So some possible topics could be smoking and its effects, or the new thing is like vaping. We're doing compare and contrast next, so I don't want you comparing the two because that's going to be our next writing prep. This is just cause and effect. So I'm going to put an or. Don't do both, just pick one or the other if you choose to do that topic. We could do breeding in captivity, like the effects of zoos, recycling, losing weight, or anything that involves health. Got a lot of options here. It just has to be something that has steps or actions that you take, and then you describe what the effects of those actions are. So when a few years ago we didn't have a budget in the state, you could say Illinois' budget impasse and its effects. Notice that my computer's like, no, I want an apostrophe there. So, like I said, you can choose to go the political route with this. You can choose to go environmental. You can choose to go something simple. You can choose a lot of different things. But the idea is that you're talking about an action that you take and then the effect that it has. That's the whole point of this paper. And Chapter 10 discusses that through some examples that they list here, and then they talk about how you can set that up. So it's not a long chapter, but it does provide some steps on choosing your topic. And as you work on this writing prep, please feel free to email me, because that's what I'm here for, to answer your questions. Go back to here. So the writing prep assignment is, the Dropbox is the same. I would just open up a Word document or a Word notepad, whatever format you want, and then write your answers out here in the form of an outline that looks kind of like this, and submit it. If you're not sure what to write about, list multiple topics you're thinking of, and I can give you my feedback. I mean, I'm not going to pick your topic for you, but I can let you know which one I think you will likely have the most opportunity to write a 3-page paper on. All right. So as far as resources this week goes, if I go to my resources tab, week 4, I'm going to put the video here. Week 4, you just have how and why to create an outline. Yes. The outline that I just told you about, surprise, is also extra credit. So your writing prep assignment where you list your topic and points, that is what I'm giving you points on. That is what the assignment is. But the outline you create here is actually, I'm going to give you extra credit for as well. So I have this how to create an outline file to help you as well. If it'll open up for me. And here we go. So this shows you just how to create a outline, just in general, just some useful steps. It's pretty basic, but if you do create an outline, it is due by week 5, which is not this week, but next week. So what I'm wanting for your writing prep assignment is basically this part right here. What is your intro and thesis? Let me find, where's my little comment? This is the writing prep assignment. No. All right. This part right here So what is due this week is when you open up a document, you need to put down what your paper is going to be about and kind of an introduction. What this outline is it is extra credit. And I would encourage you to do it because the outlines aren't hard. They are helpful. They are something we're going to be doing later on in English 121 and 122. And it's extra credit. It's easy extra credit. So why not do it, right? Why not get those extra points? So I would encourage you to do that. If I go back to our assignments, and I go back to the writing prep, you can follow the instructions here. You need to explain what your topic, your purpose is, and the outline, which I'm going to put on here, is also extra credit. I'm going to attach that to this by the time you watch this video. So, and the guidelines are on there. So If you have any questions about this assignment, I know it's something new, but I don't think it's going to be hard for you all. I'm really excited about the cause and effect writing prep, and you can always look ahead and see when it's going to be due. It's not going to be due until week 7 or the end of week 6. So you basically got 2 weeks to work on this writing prep. All right. But if you have questions, please let me know. And otherwise, I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you get out of this cold weather that is coming, because it's supposed to be disgusting. But overall, if you have questions, let me know, especially about the writing prep. I'm going to update the assignment to make the outline extra credit, but I highly encourage you to do so because it's easy extra credit. Why not? But if you have questions, let me know, and otherwise, I will talk to you all later.